Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear. I decided, I just opened this up, I'm going to immediately find a way to get some KPL in there. We'll see if I can get into those washers by just loosening everything up. I'd really prefer to not take this knife all the way apart right now and deal with the axis lock and all that. So if it's possible for me to do this without fully disassembling the knife, that's what I'm going to do. I prefer to not take things all the way apart unless I have to, but as you can see, this is just, here's what the knife should function like. See, it's literally bouncing back. It should be this free swinging. This one has none of that. It's just, this is a bad action out of the box. So we're gonna see if we can help this thing along. Loosening the pivot may help on its own. Can try that just to better. That's if it came out of the box like this, I'd have been okay with that. Does it have play though? Oh, it's not too bad. I can feel the slightest wiggle. Let's see if I can get some KPL in there because I just bought a bottle of it anyways. So let's see. As I'm loosening this, I don't really see a gap forming here. I assume that's because I'm still being held solid there and there. I'm using the Benchmade blue box because it's handy and quick and easy. And this is a Benchmade, right? So Benchmade tools on a Benchmade knife feels right. Let's see if I loosen these. Again, I'm gonna see if I can get away with not pulling these all the way out, but just loosening it enough to give myself some wobble up here. It doesn't really feel like I'm getting any. Bummer. All right, let's, I guess, just go ahead and disassemble it then. YOLO, right? It's funny, I earlier today was just doing something so simple as swapping a clip on another knife and ended up that process with a warranty claim, which is the first time I've ever had to reach out to a knife company that I can remember for a warranty claim. So let's hope I don't have bad luck on this one like I did on that one. This is a construction that I shouldn't have an issue with though. So I'm wondering actually, if I keep those screws in, those internal liners should stay. I don't know about the Omega springs, obviously. That might be a hurdle, but we're gonna find out. So let's go ahead. It's already almost all the way out as it is. All right. So this pivot screw doesn't really look like it has, if there's Loctite on it, it's just pretty low strength. What are we dealing with now? Is it because of the stop pin that I'm still? That's gotta be it. Interesting, all right. Coming for you, stop pin. Be real careful not to lose these screws, especially these tiny little suckers. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now nothing should be really holding this knife together. Why am I not coming apart now? Okay, here we go. I'm getting some wiggle. A little bit. Close the blade, see what happens. Weird. I wonder if I do need to take those kind of liner screws out, which would mean I have to take the pocket clip off. All right, guess I'm going full on disassembly now. I'm getting acquainted with this knife. It's mine, right? There's one pocket clip clip screw. Let me put those blade stop screws up there. And another pocket clip screw. And one more. The only screws that are left should be the ones that are captive. Okay. Well, that's cool. Looking at the internals of the G10 there. It's like gray, black, red. Really shows you the layers there. That's interesting. This is really light too. Awesome. Okay. All right. Here's what's going to happen. I might have some excess. I'm just gonna drip it down into there because I can see a gap. So I'm gonna put more than I need on both sides, and then I'm just gonna play with the action enough that hopefully it seeps down into there a fair bit. In there, push that pivot back through. I can feel that that's lubricating already. All right, that's as in there as I'm going to get it in this process. So let's go ahead, see if we can reassemble this now. Is there anything else that needs to go inside of this? No. So slap this back on there. I will say that's a nice puzzle piece fit right there. Let's go ahead and begin with these. All these, every screw on this knife other than the pivot is a T6, which is nice and it isn't. I kind of feel like this is just me. T6 screws should not really be like, they're kind of the standard on pocket knives, and I think they should be antiquated at this point. I don't see the positive of having a T6 head compared to a T8, because these bits just get so spindly and little to work on the knives, and it's really easy to, I mean, I've chipped and broken bits before, luckily on knives that weren't high-end or that expensive, but if you have a bad bit, then it's easy to mar up hardware, and it's just kind of like, why are we doing that when T8s exist and are so easy to source and use? And it's not like, I don't know, I don't think T6s look better than T8s. Like, is there an aesthetic reason for it that knife companies think these little screws look better? I don't want giant screws on my knife, but the difference between a T6 and a T8, yeah, I don't follow. All right, now get this next one in here. Let's pray that I'm centered as I dial in this action now. There we go. All right, we're as tight as I'd like to be there and there. Now let's do some body screws. I will say I'm more forgiving of T6s on tiny little knives. Like, if it's the Benchmade mini bug out, sure, use T6 hardware. That thing's tiny and lightweight and everything about it is small. I get it. But this knife is not small. I was just holding up Kyle's DTOM Knives and Gear, the one that I'm borrowing, to my Shaman this morning as I was grabbing it out of my knife box to slip it into my pocket, and it's about the same size as the Shaman, realistically, like in terms of its silhouette, its footprint. So yeah, a knife this size I would consider to be a full size, like EDC pocket knife. It's not oversized, it's not a light or small EDC, it's just like a full size EDC. And on a full size knife, T6 is too little in my opinion, but what do I know? All right, so that's all of my T6 screws. All of the body screws are in place. I'm gonna actually do the clip after, because I have short deep carry clips on the way from Benchmade. I already ordered some. I've got one coming for this knife and one just to have as an extra, but I don't want to wait to put one on, so I'm going to steal one off of either my bug out or bail out, since I'm going to be carrying this more than either of those in the meantime, and then once those arrive, then I'll chuck one onto the Benchmade, onto the bug out or the bail out. All right, getting the pivot tightened down now. Got a ways to go still. All right, so that's tight. I'm gonna back it just a little. Centering. It might be just barely favoring the show side, but okay, yeah, I'm too tight anyways. So I'll worry about centering until I've gotten action. I prefer action to centering. There we go. That's passable. Okay, I like that. From this point, if it just wears in a little bit, now we're talking. It's barely any grittier or tighter than the one that I've been borrowing. And I don't feel blade play. Oh, that's great. I was worried that I was gonna have blade play there. The centering, yeah, it's like 55%, 45%. It's barely off, but that's okay. I'd rather have it function right and feel right. Great. Now, this is much better. So let me cut real quick. I'm gonna run and grab the other knife so that I can throw a deep carry clip onto this one. Okay, so the mini deep carry clip on the bug out is gray, so I'm gonna steal the one from the bailout, and then within a couple of days I'm gonna have the ones here from Benchmade, so it's just gonna get one of those thrown on it. So let's steal this clip right now, and I'm just gonna, I think, leave this one without a clip on it until those arrive. Thought that one was all the way up. Apparently it was not. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and just use these screws again since they're already in the clip. I don't want to fuss with it. Well, let me double check, make sure. Nope, yeah, these are longer. So I'm gonna take these suckers out. I don't want to use a shorter clip screw than I should. That is a recipe for a bad time. Come on, little guy. There it goes. All right, so those are my bailout screws. Let's use some of these for this one so that we actually get the right fit. There's one, and two. Obviously, we're going to skip the third because you can't get a third one where it's just a clip. All right, we're getting there. I'm not going to over tighten. Just get it nice and snug. Scary. The tool skipped a little bit. I think I just wasn't putting enough pressure though. Great, that's tight. Just double check this one. Is my bit stripping? I hope I'm not stripping that screw. You know what? It feels like I'm stripping that screw. So, moment of honesty. Showing you exactly how it actually goes. I'm gonna set that bit aside because I think that bit is my problem. I think it's a little bit warped. And I'm gonna pull this screw all the way out. And I'm gonna swap it with that extra right there. Because I would much rather replace some screws than have one get like stuck in the knife or have it just be unusable and or ruin something by trying to hold on to something as simple and dumb as a screw. Okay, come on. Man, that's difficult on that angle. Come out. Come out. There it goes. All right, so I want that there. Put that there. And let's give this guy a shot. Much better. Great. That feels perfect. Okay, so now we have a good action. We've got a mini deep carry clip, which looks kind of small on there, but I am fine with that. The ergos of that clip in the hand doesn't bother me. It feels every bit as good as that clip did, so I'm fine with the way that clip is going to function. And this is ready for some pocket time now. Much, much better than the way it just came out of the box. So if a rookie like me, who can do that poorly, can get the results out of it, then you should certainly be able to do it if all you have are some Torx bits and I suppose some KPL, although up until right now, if I was doing this previously, it was with just some gun lube. So if you got some lubricant and you have some Torx bits, you can go ahead and do this yourself. It's not going to be difficult at all. And yeah, I think this is going to be a welcome addition to the pocket. You can see the difference between the clips right there. Aesthetically, that's quite the change, but yeah, I guess, you know what, now that I'm putting them side by side, that one might feel just a tiny bit better in the hand, but this one's going to carry so much better, and it doesn't bother me. I can just feel it a little bit more because it just feels slightly more proud right back there. Anyway, that'll be that for this little tune-up job, and I suppose my next video on this guy is going to be a use video. So you guys are going to see me get out and field test this guy, which I'm really, really looking forward to. There you have it. That's the SuperFreek tune-up.